Thank you, David, for putting this program together, and all the public affairs offices from the various agencies and departments. And a special thank you to the City of San Francisco for all of the effort that it puts in to help us with organizing Fleet Week, and of course ESG3 and 3rd Fleet, the Coast Guard, Police Department, Fire Department, Army Corps of Engineers, the list goes on, the United States Marine Corps. It's a huge event to be organizing, and I want to start out by saying that the tragic event that took place in Las Vegas last night reminds us of the importance of the men and women who dedicate their lives to protect the lives of others. That's both on the military side and on the civilian side. And we really do thank every one of you and all of your organizations for the training, the hard work that you put in trying to keep everybody safe. As we look towards our week for Fleet Week, we celebrate the men and women serving our country. The beginning of the week, we do a lot of work with our partners at the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management, where we're conducting exercises, training, and education programs on joint civilian military disaster response and humanitarian assistance missions. That's going on as we speak. As the week goes on, we have many community relations projects throughout the city, including efforts to support the San Francisco Food Bank and St. Anthony's. We have neighborhood band concerts. We have on Saturday a Canine Heroes program where we celebrate the Bark in the Park. We celebrate the hero dogs who are trained to help save lives, and also to work with our veterans and having them enter and have valuable quality lives themselves. And then on Monday we have our annual high school band challenge. All of these efforts are designed to bring Fleet Week into the neighborhoods of San Francisco and off of the waterfront, and they've been quite successful over the many years that we've been doing them. Along the waterfront we have the ship tours, and of course we have the nation's most spectacular air show featuring the Blue Angels. And the Marina Green is Show Central is the best place to go and view this exciting show. And over there we also have the Marina Green Fleet Week Festival, sponsored by United Airlines. And then we have a STEM Education Center brought to us by Verizon, and the San Francisco Fleet Week Humanitarian Assistance Village. And so when you go down there, you'll see not only the air show, but you'll learn about the preparation for disasters and emergency response. I believe the Navy is bringing out some robots to display and to talk about technology and the benefits of STEM education programs. I'm the least important person standing up here that will stand up here today, so I just want to move the program along and introduce Major General Mike Myatt, United States Marine Corps retired, who is the chairman of the San Francisco Fleet Week Association Board of Directors. So General Myatt, if you could come up here.
Thank you, Louis. I know Fleet Week is supposed to be fun, and we'll have fun. Everybody will have fun. But it's important what we're doing here in these exercises, because we're going to have an earthquake one day. We don't know when, but it's going to be a big one. And the better we prepare now, the better we'll execute and save lives when it happens. So I just want to tell you, I think, first of all, 3rd Fleet and Admiral OConnor with the ESG3 for bringing this wonderful ship up here, and for Admiral Soslak and the Coast Guard, because they're really what makes things happen around here. But it'll be good, it'll be fun, and it's important. If now I could introduce my follow-on, who really needs no introduction, Mayor Ed Lee.
Great words, Major General Myatt, and to you, Louis. Thank you to both of you for leading this Fleet Week Association. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Right, on behalf of San Francisco, let me welcome our sailors, our Marines, our coasties back to our great city. And this is a lovely ship Admiral, because it is seldom that we get the entire width of our Pier 3032 covered. So this is a right size for the right ship, and it's a great deep harbor as well. Well, our city, we welcome our military, and we honor the men and women who serve, and we always will be a home for them in San Francisco. And our relationship with our military, of course, is rooted in history. And even more than a century ago, we had millions of people lined up along the hills and along the waterfront as the fleet came in through the harbor. And this tradition continues today, as more than 1 million people will come visit San Francisco when the fleet sails in and the Blue Angels fly overhead. So again, to the Army Corps, Navy, Marines, our Coast Guards, our friends from the North, our Canadian friends as well, thank you for coming here and celebrating Fleet Week with us. And I also want to, again, recognize the Fleet Week Association, and not only directed by General Myatt and Louis Leuven, but also the honorary co-chairs of Senator Feinstein and former Secretary George P. Shultz. Through their leadership, they've managed over the years to create a little army of volunteers, make sure that our service men and women feel comfortable when they come to San Francisco. But since 2010, Fleet Week has taken a much deeper meaning here in San Francisco. Before the parade of ships show up and before the Blue Angels fly, our city's emergency officials through the Department of Emergency Services, working directly with the port, and our first responders who are working with their military counterparts to help our city and our region do those kinds of things that get better prepared, as General Myatt said, and more resistant. And I am so deeply appreciative that we can practice what a landing emergency vehicle will do on our shores. Literally, this past week, you may have seen some of the news. I got excited when people started learning, what is a medical surge? Well, that's obviously something that we all know, the military knows very well, and now our emergency responders know, because we are not going to just respond and react to the earthquake or to a major devastation. With our military partners, we're going to manage those events. That's a huge difference in confidence, a huge difference in relationship building. And by the end of this week, I expect my emergency responders to know the first names of every military man and woman in the force, okay? That's how we will really roll with each other. But I do say that every year our Department of Emergency Management thinks up the most complex exercises that only if you practice, you'll do perfectly when the event happens. That's what we do. And that's what really makes these events so valuable lessons-wise, relationship-wise, sectors of our military, how they will respond. This is really important for the day when it comes. So it's a reality check for all of us, and we're glad to do it. And let me say finally that the three phrases that I will say in the best fashion that I can always are with our military: Semper Foris, Semper Fidelis, and Semper Paratus. Always courageous, always faithful, and always ready. Let me take this opportunity for a man who's always ready and introduce to you the Rear Admiral, Admiral OConnor.
Thank you, Mary Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Rear Admiral Cahill O'Connor. On behalf of my boss, Vice Admiral John Alexander, Commander of U.S. 3rd Fleet, I extend my warmest welcome to you, the citizens and community leaders, to San Francisco Fleet Week. For 37 years, San Francisco has created this opportunity for our nation's sea services to showcase our people, our ships, our submarines, our aircraft, and our equipment. I'm grateful for the unmatched display of hospitality, the friendship, and the support that you show the sea services each and every day. USS Essex here today, USS Dewey, USS Champion. These are excellent representatives of the U.S. Navy, and we're very happy to have the Coast Guard cutter Myatt and Her Majesty's Canadian ship Winnipeg, and our Marine Corps brothers and sisters here as well. To meet the demands of our complex world, we will continue to train and deploy forces so that we can be where it matters, when it matters. While in San Francisco, we'll spend valuable time, as the mayor said, with the local and regional experts on emergency management, where we're establishing critical relationships with government officials and first responders so that if or when a disaster occurs, we in the military are prepared to support the plans in place. This training could not be more relevant as we see the natural disasters that have struck our nation and our territories over the past few weeks. The Department of Defense understands how important it is to have the right capabilities at the right place and the right time to support the needs of our citizens. San Francisco Fleet Week, however, is also an opportunity to share with you how our maritime forces serve our nation. Many of our soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardmen are proud to call the Bay Area their home. We appreciate the chance to join together with the San Francisco community to continue our strong ties with each other as neighbors. I invite you to visit our ships, talk with our service members, sailors, and Marines during these Fleet Week events. We are immensely proud of these men and women, and I am sure you will be too. So again, thank you for all of your support of those who serve America at sea and ashore. Thank you for sharing your home with our talented men and women. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Rear Admiral Sokolzuk, Commander, U.S. Coast Guard District 11.
Good morning. Well, I want to just thank everybody responsible for this fantastic event, especially Mayor Lee for hosting such a wonderful event, an important event for the Bay Area, and of course, to your staff and the people of San Francisco who always just take great care of all the men and women of the sea services, but especially for taking care of the Coast Guard men and women that live here in the Bay Area. You know, General Myatt and the San Francisco Fleet Week Board of Directors have just done an outstanding job, as have all the participating organizations, in putting together what is just a fantastic program. And I will tell you, the Coast Guard is just honored and thrilled to be a part of this. You know, Fleet Week is just such a great opportunity for all of us. You know, well, the military, our federal partners, state and local agencies, international partners, we're all going to be training and collaborating with each other to figure out the best way and most effective way to handle a large-scale contingency here in the Northern California and the Bay Area. I'll tell you, the level of collaboration in this community is superb. You know, it's an operational event, really, for all of us. We are really going to do real-world practice, and we will take away important lessons learned. We'll form new relationships and strengthens all of the partnerships that we already have. You know, the Coast Guard's been a key part of the Bay Area's emergency response plan for many, many years. And we support, train, and work with our partner agencies here on a daily basis on just a myriad of different events. And I will tell you, it's just an honor to serve with such a great group of professionals here in the Bay Area. And as you know, we are always ready to respond. We're proud of our Coast Guard history in responding to earthquakes in this area over the years. And we have members right now deployed, of course, to Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and Puerto Rico to assist with search and rescue and disaster recovery in those areas, as do all of my counterparts here. We have more than 4,000 Coast Guard men and women that live here in the Bay Area performing our whole myriad of missions every day, from search and rescue to environmental response to law enforcement, to port security and maintaining the aids and navigation. And we're also neighbors, volunteers, and citizens that actively work here in the Bay Area. And I'll tell you, we love living and working here. This community gives the strongest support to our service members, veterans, and their families, as you can see by this fantastic event that we're kicking off right now. Finally, I just want to say we want everybody to enjoy Fleet Week by being safe on the water. Your safety is the primary focus of all of us up here to make sure this is a great event while we exercise all these capabilities. While members of the Coast Guard participate in the various Fleet Week events, this is a very operational event for us, and we will be vigilant out on the water, protecting the waterways and providing security around San Francisco, along with the fantastic local police and fire departments. So you'll see Coast Guard vessels, auxiliary vessels, state vessels, and local law enforcement out there, all with the public safety in mind. So please, Go out, enjoy Fleet Week, meet the members of all the great organizations participating, talk to a service member, one of our sailors, our coasties, our Marines out there, talk to one of our first responders. They've got great stories to tell, and please report any suspicious activity that you may see, and of course, take some time to be personally prepared for a disaster or emergency. We can rescue you better if you're prepared. So, Semper Paratus, and it's my honor to introduce Mr. Terrence Cowell, the Consul of Canada.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Admiral. Before we begin, on behalf of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, I want to note that the friendship and support of Canada are with the victims in Las Vegas and the people of the United States. As we speak, Her Majesty's Canadian ship Winnipeg, a Halifax-class frigate of 225 sailors, is making her way to San Francisco from Esquimalt, British Columbia. The entire crew is joining me in expressing their pride and excitement to participate in San Francisco Fleet Week 2017. As your neighbor to the north and the only foreign country to participate in this event, Canada's role in Fleet Week is one of a kind. And so too is the relationship between the United States and Canada. No two countries share deeper or broader relations. We are bound together by our history and values. Our economy and our environment are resolved to improve the lives of our citizens. Thanks to NAFTA, the North America economy is highly integrated, making our companies more competitive in the marketplace and creating more jobs on the continent. And our participation in Fleet Week reflects our relationship as a whole, the deeply integrated nature of our defense alliance, and more fundamentally, the extraordinary friendship and partnership which that alliance represents. Canada and the US have a shared, deep and enduring defense relationship as NORAD partners, NATO allies, and North American neighbors. The Government of Canada believes the US and Canada's continued commitment to North American defense is vital. The close defense relationship between our two nations provides both countries with greater security in North America and contributes to peace and stability in the world. Canada is proud to once again participate in Fleet Week with the HMCS Winnipeg and our Air Force to showcase the enduring bonds of our friendship. Fleet Week is a great community event, but is also a celebration to express our appreciation for our veterans who have served our countries with bravery, honor, and dignity, protecting the values we cherish. And then I can end on a personal note. This Fleet Week has a special connection. My grandfather, Jack Quinn, served in combat with the Royal Navy throughout the Second World War, and then with the Royal Canadian Navy in the post-war period. So the armed services hold a special place with me and my family. So now I'd like to say thank you and introduce Ann Cronenberg, Executive Director, San Francisco Office of Emergency Management. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ann Cronenberg. It is a thrill to be here today. I believe this is my 7th Fleet Week, and I woke up this morning and just feeling excited knowing what was ahead of us this week. Thanks to the successful collaboration amongst the city, emergency management partners, the U.S. military, I can proudly say San Francisco is more prepared now to face any emergency than we were before we began exercising together in Fleet Week. I just came from San Francisco General Hospital, Zuckerberg General Hospital, where the shock trauma platoon is set up alongside DPH's, Department of Public Health's emergency medical tents, as well as California's emergency medical services. We don't get this opportunity very often to really look at what we would do in medical surge. Just knowing the tragedy that happened last night and how overrun the hospitals are in Las Vegas right now, it's crucial that we continue to work together and exercise to make sure that we are better prepared. With every Fleet Week, we get more prepared to handle a major disaster, and I'd like to leave you with this. The city of San Francisco is resilient. We're proud of our resiliency. We come together as a city every year to prepare for emergencies with our military partners. We live in a city that invests in safety and in our future. With that, I just want to thank everyone for being here, and please enjoy Fleet Week and be safe. It is my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Jody Travesera, she is our regional administrator for Cal OES with the Governor's Office of California. So Jody, it's all yours.
Good day, San Francisco. My name is Jody Travesero, and as Ann Cronenberg just said, I'm the Regional Administrator for the Governor's Office of Emergency Services. My job covers the area from Monterey up to the Oregon border, and it includes 151 cities, 16 counties, and about 8 million people. Recent events remind us that really every day is precious, and we can't afford not to be prepared. And I can't thank these esteemed leaders enough. Mayor, thank you so very much for your investment in public safety. And thank you so much to our military and Coast Guard and everybody here. The preparedness that occurs right here in San Francisco prepares not only San Francisco, but our entire region. And as we sit here, really in the hub of innovation, I'm just amazed, that we have this ability to test our interoperability between the different jurisdictions, really, and disciplines that are here. I'm a fellow San Franciscan, and I'm here to celebrate our military and, of course, prepare all of the region for the big one. This is good government, and the years of investment have paid off. And I just want to leave you with, if there's one thing you can do today, it's to sign up for your alerts and warnings through your emergency managers of your counties. If you're listening to this, and rest assured, you have the most amazing leaders today here and in government who are preparing for the variety of things that we could be faced with in an emergency. So thank you very much for having me. We look forward to celebrating. And I have the pleasure of introducing our Executive Director of the Port of San Francisco, so Elaine Forbes. I'd like to bring you up here. It's all yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Elaine Forbes, and I have the honor of taking care of 7.5 miles of waterfront property here at San Francisco as the Port Director, and we're thrilled to welcome 5 beautiful vessels to our shores for Fleet Week, and we're very excited to be a sponsor of this event. As you've heard from the other speakers, Fleet Week is an opportunity for us to practice preparedness and to practice with our partners. I've heard that you're not to meet someone for the first time on the battlefield when you're planning your response. You need to meet them in advance of, here we go. You need to meet them in advance of the catastrophic event. And we know that San Francisco will have a major earthquake. It's not a matter of if, but when. And the dedication that the sea services and our own City and County of San Francisco, through the mayor and through Ann Cronenberg, have to the practice is very noteworthy. And it's not easy, it's hard work, it's drudgery, it's hard logistics, and we continue the dedication to the art of this practice, because practice will make us perfect, and we are perfecting our response. And it will change not only how many people survive the catastrophe, but how this city and this region grow and respond. And it is extraordinarily important work. So we're very, very honored to be a sponsor, and I'm happy to be up here speaking today. Happy Fleet Week. Enjoy this week. Thank you so much.